ジョジョーの野郎。鬼姫が完全にぶっ潰しやがって。
Oh my god. Hello everyone, welcome to Joe Consumes Cinema. I'm your host, Not So Friendly Spar, and today we have Ashita no Joe, episode 74. So really good episode last time. The whole sparring match between Carlos and Joe, really cool. Despite the fact that they were using those 16-ounce gloves, again, they're like, pillows on your fists. They were drawing blood, beating the crap out of each other. It was really cool to see. And Joe, despite the fact that, he shouldn't have looked as good as he did, actually did really well. In fact, Carlos said at one point that cross counter he hit him with would have sent him to Rikishi if he had, been wearing normal boxing gloves. So yeah, that's serious, and Joe is not done by a long shot. I expect to get, more of a reunion for Joe. He should see everybody. And also the fight between Carlos and Hirajima. I think there's a possibility that Carlos could be so amped up from the spar that he just goes out and just annihilates this guy. Like, totally possible. We knew, from before with Nango, the little game he's playing where he pretends to be weak and then, catches them with a lucky punch or whatever. I think he might be done with, the charade, and he might just go across and just dust this guy, like he's nothing. Because honestly, he's way better than anyone else in Japan except for Joe when he's fighting serious. But yeah, I'm very eager to get to this one, so let's just get right to it. Setting out today. Quick reminder to like, comment, share, subscribe. Also consider signing up for my Patreon. For $1 per month, you get access to all my exclusive reactions, also a guaranteed movie request. With that, let's get right back to the reaction. I just had a random thought. Whatever happened to their doctor? We haven't seen him in so long. Everything can be rebuilt. Nah, he doesn't hate him. He just doesn't want to get his hopes up again and then just have Joe leave on him. Looking nice and proper again. It's beautiful. Did his hand not heal right?
一度は同じ釜の飯を食った仲だ。それくらい気がつか。
3ヶ月前の8回戦やった。7ラウンド、もうちょいで相手を KO できるチャンスやった。慌てて飛び込んで派手にノックアウトされて、俺は。
言うなって。
俺が必要な時呼んでくれ。いつでもスパーリングの相手をさせてもらいますぜ。
言わしてくれよ。ボクシングはな、一度引退を決意した奴がやれるほど甘いもんじゃないぜ。
お前やっぱり矢吹城や。矢吹城や。
俺たち何も知らないで西の悪口ばっかり言ってたんだ。
いいや、お前たちにもいずれ話そうと思ってたんや。
行くわよ。
それ
それ。
We're all just relaxing on the beach.
よかった、西君もほんがらかになって。ああ、ジョーもこれでやっと安心して再起できる。おっと。
Carlos? And that's Yoko right there.
思いがけないところでお会いしたわね、矢吹君。今日はトレーニング？
それほど俺の体はなまっちゃいないんでね。
そんなこと言って大丈夫かしら。カーロスとの本番よ。
そうです。私必ずあなた KO します。
そういうことはね、やってみなきゃわかんないんだよ。やってみなきゃ。
おいジョー。
よーし行くぞ。
Oh yeah. Books. Okay, I took some time just to gather my thoughts. Episode 74. We got more of the reunion. You know, he saw the kids, Dangpei, Nishi. Nishi was very reluctant to meet with Joe, and at first I thought, like, you know, he's hesitant to go see Joe because, you know, he could just up and leave on him again. It happened like a while back, maybe 3 or 4 episodes, but Nishi hurt his hand, and then the whole thing where Joe had to go and, you know, find a sparring partner that chairman, you know, volunteered. It was a trap so he could spy on Joe, get information for the fight. And Nishi's hand never healed correctly because he probably didn't, you know, let it rest the right way. And he was talking about it, how he had a fight 3 months back, and he went in for the kill around 7 thinking he could get the knockout, and it just didn't happen, and ever since then it just hasn't been the same. He's been working his job at the grocery store, and still, you know, it's still, like, messed up. Nishi felt guilty now that Joe is on his comeback. He can't, you know, help his friend out and, you know, act as a sparring partner. Even if he's not going to take boxing, you know, as seriously as he once did, he could at least still, like, help him out. But no, Joe refused him, you know, flat out, saying, once you're retired, you know, just go on and, you know, move on to your second life, which is honestly a pretty good life. But yeah, it was a nice little reunion episode, and end of the episode, they're all at the beach, you know, just having fun. And they run into Carlos and Shiraki, not by, you know, happenstance. I'm 100% confident she keeps tabs on Joe and, you know, planned this, honestly. But yeah, we've only got like 5 episodes left, so I'm thinking Carlos's fight with Hirajima, then Carlos gets a title fight, and Joe has, you know, his return match against somebody. Hopefully Nango. Whichever one was talking smack to him, that's the one I'd like to see Joe, you know, smash his face in, honestly. But you know, somebody who's like middling ranker or something like that, but enough to where if Joe gets a convincing win, people will start taking it seriously, like his actual return. I'm pretty confident that based on what happened in the spar, the newspaper people have enough to, you know, write a narrative that is actually very positive for Joe, and will get people interested in, you know, his return match and also this eventual fight that's going to happen between Joe and Carlos. Based on the pacing, you know, 5 episodes left. I'm thinking 77, maybe we start the fight. 78, we, you know, middling rounds, and then 79, last episode of season 1, the conclusion to the fight. So yeah, should be pretty good, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it, and that's pretty much all I got. So as always, thanks for watching, and peace.